Good morning, everyone. Okay, we'll continue our book reading this morning. The Toyota Way to Service Excellence by Jeffrey K. Liker and Karen Ross. And remember, we're still looking at the lean transformation in service organization. Yesterday, on page 62, we looked at the new age of organization as living system. We looked at different ways Westerners think and the different ways Asians think and how it has affected productivity in the society, how it has affected their life, how it has affected their living system, and how it has affected them as an organization. Yes, in our book reading, defined the Western thinking as a tunnel thinking, which was influenced by Plato and Aristotle, while it defined the Japanese or the Asian way of thinking, which was influenced by Confucius and Buddha, and alongside with different set of experience, starting from their starting from as their farmers and and their different it was affected by their culture and environment. Today on page 65, we'll be looking at system thinking for higher performance organization on page 65. The higher performance organization movement evolved separately from lean management. It began with the concept of social technical systems. The term socio-technical systems was coined by Eric Trist, Ken Banford, and Fred Emery at the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations in London. One of the early works to come out of this tradition, published in 1951, looked at the technological changes that came with long wall coal mining in England and how the changes altered the structure of work. In the long wall method of getting coal, the work was spread over 3 shifts. The researchers observed that workers were isolated along these walls of coal working in a very regimented way, as if on an assembly line. The workers did a very narrow, defined task that was only a part of the job, and they could not see how it connected to a larger whole or to the customer. The researchers document the dysfunctional consequences of this form of work organization, including the psychological stress and alienation that leads to intentionally withholding productivity. The authors compare this method with the early traditional method of going into the mine in small teams who work collaboratively, which they argued was actually a superior system from a social psychological perspective, and that method technologies should be designed to facilitate the benefit of teamwork and self-direction. A primary work organization of this type has the advantages of placing responsibilities for the complete coal-getting task squarely on the shoulders of a single small face-to-face group, which experience the entire cycle of operation within the compass of its membership. For each participant, the task has total significance and dynamic closure. Socio-technical system theory continued to evolve with the study of actual work environments. Increasingly sophisticated steps were taken to create the social and technical conditions to support accountable teams who took responsibility for an intact unit of work. One of the early pioneers of this arena was Procter and Gamble, when in the 1970s the company began introducing the technician system of work. P&G made a variety of consumer products such as diapers and cosmetics that require highly automated processes. The major challenge for humans in this system was not the repetitive manual work, but rather the ability to control all the disturbances that interrupted the workflow, such as machine breakdowns. In the technician system, teams of workers were responsible for a completely automated line. David Hanna was one of the P&G internal change agents introducing this new way of work based on system thinking. By introducing this system, he and his colleagues were repeatedly able to transform the lowest performing plants in P&G into the highest performing plants on measures of cost, quality, morale, and in on-time delivery. David noted that there was a natural organizational life cycle for mechanistic companies. They may have started with a clear purpose and some product or service that the market demanded, but over the time, as they became increasingly complex and bureaucratic, they lost their purpose and began to turn inward, leading to win-lose scenario, copying the competition and eventually either going out of business or restructuring as a new business. He describes the process of shifting thinking from mechanistic to living system as a way for the organization of self-renew, continuing to pursue and even redefine its purpose through organizational learning. The starting point is getting the leadership team to understand the current system and its limitation, and then envision a future system that will perform at a much higher level. A model used to facilitate this discussion is shown in Figure 3.1. It always begins with the stakeholders analysis. Whom do we serve? And what values do we provide to each stakeholder? This leads to defining the strategy of the company to fulfill its mission and identity and identifying the capabilities required to achieve the strategy. The internal capability includes the organizational system and culture as defined by structure, process, people, and rewards. Results get defined as aspirational. What is the level we need to achieve in the near term to move up closer to satisfying stakeholders' needs? David's conclusion: you must adhere to the natural laws of living system if you would continually extend your organizational life cycle. So this is where we'll stop for our reading today, talking about system thinking for higher performance organization. In a brief summary, what it's simply saying here is organizations should learn to work as a team, as a system, so that there will be an uninterrupted work flow. So it is important to work as a team, try to bring everybody along, carry everybody along in what you're doing. As it says here in conclusion, say you must adhere to natural laws of a living system if you continually extend the organizational life cycle. So this is where we'll stop for our reading this morning. Thank you.